Hello everyone, this is Gary from Fantastic Fundas, and in this lecture we are going to study about fundamental duties. Although it is very simple, but you never know what kind of tough question can be asked. I have dealt in quite a detail about this in this chapter on this topic, right? So now we'll begin with this. This is the fundamental duties are given under article number 51A, and this is in the part 4A of the Constitution. Okay, and this was not part of the original constitutions. Our constitution makers never really thought about making, they did give it a thought, but then they never thought about putting it in the constitution as such, because the rights have in themselves inherently duties in them. Okay, I'll just discuss this topic. Let me quickly tell you the amendment number. It was in the 1976 through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act that these duties were introduced after the recommendation of the Swarn Singh Committee. Right? And there are few other countries in the world which also have fundamental duties. For example, Japan has, and Russia has, and then also China has fundamental duties. So many other constitutions in the world are having fundamental duties. Now let me tell you this concept that I was talking about. We have fundamental rights, right? For example, Article 19 is there, which talks about freedom of speech and expression, 19(1)(a). But then at the same time, Article 19 Clause 1 Subclause A, this is this freedom of speech and expression, this is restricted, right? And this includes the restricted by Article 19 Clause 2. For example, it says in the interest of the public, this can be curtailed. That means it's a duty on you, it's indirect duty, okay? On you not to do anything which leads to violation of 19(2). Otherwise, this fundamental right will be restricted. So that means your right under Article 19 is subject to your certain duty. If you do not perform that duty, then your right can be curtailed. So inherently, there are some duties already mentioned in the Constitution. Okay, you can maximum call them as constitutional duties. You cannot call them fundamental duties, because the fundamental duties are only those which have been mentioned in the Part 4A of the Constitution. Only them we call the fundamental duties. Okay. Now I will talk to you about all the fundamental duties. Now please, before I list you the fundamental duties, you can remember them in your own way, right? I have remembered them in my way. If you like this way, you can copy this method. Okay, I'll tell you two methods of remembering this. Okay, whatever appeals to you, right? One is a more logical method, right? I like this one more. So it says that a flag of freedom. Okay, just forget about fundamental duties. Think over this thing, whatever I'm saying. Flag of freedom and integrity in service leads to what? It leads to a brotherhood, and this brotherhood is represented by culture and environment. Okay, now full stop. Next sentence is rationality leads to non-violence. Obviously, if you are rational, why will you be violent? You will try to solve it peacefully. Rationality leads to non-violence, and this rationality, that means which can be achieved. How do you get rationality? Which can be achieved by excellence in education. This is the first way of remembering all your fundamental duties. Okay, let's see them. Now you must respect your flag, national anthem. Okay, you can see into your barrack, right? So this is fundamental duty A, this is B, C and D and E. Okay, and then this over here is F and G and H, I, J, K. Okay, we have all these fundamental duties. Mark this way. Flag of freedom and integrity in service leads to brotherhood represented by culture and environment. Rationality leads to non-violence, which can be achieved by excellence in education. Okay, this is like one way of remembering it. So what is it? First of all, what do you do? So you must write down, I'm telling you the key words which you will have to write in your exam if they ask you to enlist fundamental duties or ask them in your prelim exam. Okay, you have to be careful about this. So first is to abide by the Constitution of India and respect the national flag and the national anthem. This is number one. Okay. Number two is to cherish and follow the noble ideas which inspired our and freedom struggle. So cherish and inspire is the key word here. This is what is the duty to abide, what is the duty to cherish and inspire. These are not duties, these are things about which duty is there. So duty is to abide, to cherish and inspire. Okay, integrity. So to uphold and protect, it's not just uphold, you agree to it, you uphold and protect. It is your fundamental duty to protect the sovereignty, unity, integrity of India. There are many people in India who are separatists, right? For example, some wants to make a separate Kashmir, or somebody, even different states are there, okay? Different countries people want to make, and even many things are like that. So all those things, but it is a duty that you must uphold and protect the unity, integrity. So when you are going against the government of India, the people of India, and you say that we should have an independent country separated from India, all that is crap. That you are violating a fundamental duty, whether you are demanding for any states, Kashmir or Khalistan, or these over here in northeastern state, or Mahanagaland, and all that, all this is utter nonsense. We must protect the sovereignty and unity integrity of India. Okay, so then uphold sovereignty, unity, integrity, and then to defend the country and render national service. So the issue to see, not just to protect the unity, integrity, but you also give your service whenever required. So you defend the country and render national service whenever when called upon to do so. Brotherhood. See, we must promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood among all the people of India, and we should promote brotherhood on the religious, linguistic, and on regional, on various kind of diversity. This should be promoted. We should renounce and all the practices which are derogatory to the dignity of women. So this includes so many things. Okay, so this should be across the religions, right? Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, koi ho, Isai, sab, everyone is a bhai. So religions are there, right? Then on linguistic lines is there, right? And then various regional diversities or sectional diversities. Oh, I am from Madhya Pradesh, I am a Bihari, I am a Punjabi, I am a Tamil. See, please understand, you might be whatever, but you are an Indian. That is the whole concept which is given in your fundamental duties. And very importantly, this duty also includes the respect and dignity of the woman, right? We must renounce practices which are derogatory to the dignity of women, right? So renounce the practice. So whenever you are writing an essay, an article, whatever on the woman, you must mention this fundamental duty. And very cleverly, what you can do when you are writing your answer, quickly count it. How will you count it? You will say, in article number 51 clause A, sub clause, how will you count sub clause of women? It is in the brotherhood. How do you count? You say count 1. Flag of freedom, 2. Integrity in service, 3, 4. Leads to brotherhood. Oh, you just discovered it's 5 A, B, C, D, E. So you say 51 A clause E talks about protecting the dignity of giving up practices, renouncing practices which are derogatory to the dignity of women, giving up those. That is the way you can use all this thing. Okay, and then then there is culture. So we must value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. See, whether we are Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, whatever religion you are, so Jews, Zoroastrians, whatever you are, okay, Buddhist, please understand one thing, that we must preserve our culture and others' culture. It's a fundamental duty. I must have respect for others. I do not follow any religion, for example. Let's say I'm an atheist, for a moment, let's say that, right? Now, even then, I must respect and protect our culture. What is our culture? Religion, all these religions, so many parts of it are part of our culture. So let's protect that. So what is our duty? To value. Number 1, we must value it. Second thing is preserve. How do you do this? Obviously, when you have tolerance towards everything, right? So value and preserve the rich heritage culture, heritage of our composite culture. Okay. Then comes environment. We must improve. We must protect and improve. So there are two things. We must protect and improve the natural environment. This includes obviously forests, lakes, rivers, wildlife. So whatever you can write in paper, forest, lakes, think over it. Can you visualize this in your mind? You're protecting these somehow. Forest, lakes, rivers, wildlife, right? And to have compassion for the living creatures. So it is your compassion. You must have compassion for living creatures. That is important, right? Then we talk about rationality. Though the word rationality is not there in the fundamental duties, but what I meant for rationality over here, it was the scientific temper. We must have. What do you mean by scientific temper? For example, all these caste practices in Hinduism or Parda system in Islam, so many other practices, they are wrong. Okay, so we must be against those practices. See, somebody wants to follow them for their personal reason, they can do that. For religious person, do that, but it must not be enforced. That is the whole idea. Okay, this is my, with due respect to all the Muslims and Hindus and Sikhs and everyone, right? Please, this is what our constitution has to say, and this is more rational or scientific thing. But even then, if you want to follow, I do not suggest that, but it would not be a good choice. That is all I can say to you. Okay, according to at least our fundamental duty, which says that there shall be scientific temper, we should question everything. Even Vivekananda is saying that. People saying that change the religion if it is not rational. Okay, humanism, we must have humanism. Okay, humanism, and then we must have spirit of inquiry. Spirit of inquiry. Okay, spirit of inquiry, even see, it can have various meanings, spirit of inquiry, right? But essentially it is that we should not believe in something without really seeing the fact. Okay, that is how it is. So next is non-violence. The what I meant over is we abjure violence. Okay, and we safeguard the public property. So what is the duty in this? We safeguard public property. Not that you go to public park and destroy it, or some of you going to some cultural place and putting your name and your lover's name over there. That is horrible. I mean, come on, that should not be done. Okay, and then to abjure violence. See, you must not commit violence if you have any grievance, howsoever grave it might be. Recently, there in 2015 only, there was some incident when people killed a rapist. Okay, that is pure form of violence. See, what rapist did is, I'm not justifying that. What rapist did is absolutely wrong. I say that again. What a rape is absolute horrible. It should be abhorred. It's horrible thing, right? But then at the same time, killing a rapist by the people, by mass lynching by the mob, that is a bigger violence than anything, because you're taking away a life. That is a bigger violence. Okay, we must protect ourselves from any kind of violence. If you have any grievance, let it take time, let whatever happen, but why commit violence? Why should anybody suffer physical damage because of you? Even if you have suffered, why others should suffer because of you? See, just because you have suffered doesn't mean that others should also suffer, right? Come on, we are humans after all, right? You cannot justify an act of violence by another act of violence, right? Why an eye for an eye makes the humanity blind? That is the message, right? So then the second last duty is excellence. So we must strive toward excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher level of endeavor and achievement. Okay, so idea is to strive towards excellence. So usse kya hoga, once we have excellence in what field, toward individual action or collective activity, that way we will constantly rise to higher levels, and with that we will have higher endeavors and higher achievements. And this final, this duty related to education. Now this duty was inserted after amending the constitution. It was by the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, 86th Constitutional Amendment Act. This was done in 2002. Okay, 2002. Now, see, whosoever is a parent or a guardian, to provide opportunities for education to his child, or as the case may be, ward between the age of 6 and 14 years. You are a parent, or you are in responsibility of some child, right? Then you must send that child to the school if he is between the ages of 6 to 14 years, and not put him to work. That is our fundamental duty. Okay, this is how it is. So I hope you remember all these duties, right? Flag of freedom, integrity in service leads to brotherhood, represented by culture and environment. Rationality leads to non-violence, which can be pursued, which can be achieved by excellence in education. Okay, that is the formula. Now there's another way of remembering things. I'll just change the color if you want to remember that way. For it is known as the as service Bhai Hariharan sent public excellent education. Okay, this is nothing related to any of the asses that you might think, any kind of as, right? So this is as service Bhai, right? Hariharan, okay, Bhai Hariharan sent, scientific, sent, right? Public, okay, this is public's, I'll write here, public then you already have this word over excellent, and then this word over here education. Okay, that is how it is. A for right, A for his anthem, S for his this your freedom struggle, and then next S is for sovereignty and the service, and Bhai is brotherhood, Hari is culture, Hari Bhagwan God, right, and Haran is environment, Sent this is for scientific inquiry and public, and this thing, right, public property, and excellence and education, right. Any of the formulas that you want to remember, you may remember. Okay, now I'll just quickly end the fundamental duties part, but before that I would like to talk to you more about fundamental duties. Are they justiciable? If I suppose you have a fundamental duty, I have a fundamental duty, let's say I have it, right. Now I breach that duty, I do not follow that particular duty. Can you go to court of law against me? No, you cannot go. That is in legal words, in the words of polity, what I will say in what I write in paper, that fundamental duties are non-justiciable. You cannot go to court for their enforcement, number one. Okay, are these duties on the state or the individual? These duties are not on the state, even though see individuals together make the state, but these duties are not on the state. These are duties only on the individuals. Please remember this fact also, right. Now some duties are justiciable not because they are part of the fundamental duties, because those fundamental duties have also become part of some act. For example, respect to the constitution, flag and national anthem, all that is there in the prevention of insult to prevention of insult to National Honor Act. Okay, National Honor Act of 1971. Under this act, you can be like punished if you insult any thing of national honor. Okay, so that is how it is, right. And then there was also one Justice Verma committee report, Verma committee report, and this report was on the teaching fundamental duties to the citizens. Okay, what do you think? Should fundamental duties be discussed? You can taught in the schools. They should be taught compulsory to all the citizens. Is it compulsory or not? Should they be given to fundamental duties be also taught to foreign nationals? You can discuss this in the comment section, right. But in any way, I can just tell you that Justice Verma in this report, he held that the fundamental duties are nothing but the teaching of the codification of the Indian way of life. Isn't this what we do? Codification of Indian way of life. Don't we respect our nation, whosoever you are, of any religion? Don't all religions promote common brotherhood, preservation of culture, environment? Everyone, right? Every religion is saving environment. They talk about it, right? So codification of Indian ethos which already exist, or Indian way of life. This is what Verma said, right? Justice Verma. Right. So, and then moreover, there, like Justice Verma, he said that this was like this report was set up in 1999, okay, and given in 2000, right? 2000 this report came out, and it recommended that we need to reorient the approach to the school curriculum, right, and teachers and education programs, and we should incorporate fundamental duties in higher and professional education. So although it is given in many NCERT books at the opening of the page, not if anyone, hardly anyone read those duties. Okay, in fact, very rarely. I was once reading those duties. I asked my teacher, even my teacher was not aware. That is why people like Justice Verma say that this should be given to the higher education, professional education, technical education, everywhere it should be given. Basically not technical, he said. He mentioned about higher and professional education. Okay, I bet on it, not even 1%, right? Maybe hardly 1%, less than that, maybe people of population of India can recite fundamental duties. They cannot even mention, but after remembering that formula which I just shared with you, flag of freedom, integrity in service leads to brotherhood represented by culture and environment. Rationality leads to non-violence, which can be promoted by excellence in education. If you remember this, you will remember these fundamental duties for life. Or you can also say that as service Bhai Hari Haran, sent public excellent education, right? Those are the two formulas. You can make your own formulas, and I would be glad if you put your formulas for remembering fundamental duties in the comment section. Okay, that is how it is, right? Now, what has Supreme Court got to say about the fundamental duties, right? Supreme Court has directed the center basically to enact a law for the enforcement. What does Supreme Court say? Law for the enforcement of the fundamental duties, as was suggested by the Justice Verma committee report also. So Supreme Court has said whatever Justice Verma committee Committee has said that should be implemented, and law should be made to make the fundamental duties compulsory, right? Now some of them are compulsory through various laws. For example, related to environment, you have to protect your environment. Various Air Act, Water Act, all these are promoting environment. Okay, they are saving environment. There's all partially they are there, right? And then once there was also there was one judge of Supreme Court. His name was Rangnath Mishra. Okay, Rangnath Mishra. Okay, let me just write his name properly for people who do not understand this name. Rangnath Mishra, right? And he was the former Chief Justice of India, Rangnath Mishra. Now what happened that he wrote a letter to the Chief Justice of India, and then he asked the apex court to issue necessary directions to the state. He was seeking directions from the Supreme Court, to the state, right, to state to educate to citizens. क्या करे? To पढ़ाए सबको जाके fundamental duties के बारे में, ठीक है, to educate the citizens in the matter of fundamental rights, so that इससे क्या होगा, there would be a balance between rights and duties. This is how what he was suggesting, right? And in fact, Supreme Court of India treated this letter of Rangnath Mishra as a writ petition. So this kind of jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is called epistolary jurisdiction. Okay, epistolary jurisdiction, right? So under this jurisdiction, Supreme Court accepted that letter, where letter is treated as a writ petition, right? The court appointed some lawyer as amicus curiae. Court appointed a particular lawyer as amicus curiae. Amicus curiae means that C-U-R-I-A-E. A lawyer is appointed who is known as amicus curiae. Simple English is friend of the court. So he assists the court in coming on to the decision. Okay. And then after the Justice Verma Committee report, there was also National Commission to review the working of the Constitution. National Commission to review the working of the Constitution, NCRWC. Which came in 2002. It recommended the implementation of the Justice Verma Committee recommendations. Okay, so whatever he suggested, and the Commission said that the first step is that we should first was the one thing was Verma report should be implemented. Number two, that we should sensitize people about the fundamental duties. We do not know even the fundamental duties. Okay, that is how it is. So for further thing, again I will say it is a fallacy to think that we do not have duties if there are no fundamental duties. अगर fundamental duties नहीं होंगी तो ये नहीं कि हमारी duty नहीं है. We still have duties without fundamental duties, but the fundamental duties are those which are very fundamental, very basic, just like fundamental rights are very basic. Okay, you have to interpret that way. Okay, and sometimes even the fundamental rights, as I told you, they are imposing duty. For example, the duty not to indulge in begar, or that the kind of discrimination or untouchability, practice of untouchability are prohibited. So and a fundamental right like this, that there should be no untouchability, is more of a duty than a fundamental right even. So we have a fundamental duty lying inside the fundamental rights already, right? If you do not know this fundamental right, please go to the earlier lectures on fundamental right and you can see it there, right? Then even imposing some directive principle of state policy, state can impose a fundamental duty, right? It is there, right? Though it is not directly using the part 4a, court can for that you have to amend the constitution. Okay, anyway, right? So and what more happened with the coming of the fundamental duties? Our constitution, it came in line with what is called as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Okay, so our fundamental, this is what happened, right? And what more happened? See, we are discussing over here after the impact of what happened, right, or the effects of introduction of this 42nd amendment, right, or regarding the fundamental duties, right? So number one is that it came in line with the UDHR. Number two, it increased the responsibility on the courts. Okay, see, they are not enforceable. Then courts can always try that fundamental duties are upheld. So that is sort of increase on the responsibility. Okay, and then moreover, when you are going to court, third thing that happened is, suppose I go to court and I openly criticize caste system in India, or I openly criticize burqa system, or openly say this is wrong, that is right, and that I do on the basis of rationality, on the scientific attitude, everything. Then and somebody files a case against me that I have said so many bad things about religion, blah blah blah, and whatever I said bad is that caste system should be abolished and burqa system should be abolished. Please try to understand, whatever I said, it was based on the rational scientific inquiry. Okay, obviously they had their own, for some people they benefit, but they have bigger wrongs. Everything has some good or bad, but in the case of the burqa and the caste system and so many other evil practices or so many other religions related to the Saturn or whatever you want to say, all those things are against the rationality and the scientific inquiry. All these superstitions which surround the Hinduism, they are like, I mean, come on, they are bigger problems. Okay, so whatever I am promoting rationality, scientific attitude, then I can justify myself, I can plead in the court that it is my fundamental duty. Sir, मैं कहूँगा जज साहब मेरी तो ड्यूटी थी भाई, मैं क्या करूँ, आपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कह रहा है, then you know I will have this defense. So this is another use of the fundamental duties. I am giving an example only, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so that is how like things are, I mean, the happenings or the effects of the fundamental duties. You can add more, you can always use fundamental duties as you want, right? You can always justify yourself. Okay, so see, even okay, let's leave that right now. There are few suggestions we can make regarding fundamental rights. Can you make any suggestion? Right, they can be Verma committee report should be implemented, Ranganath Mishra case should be implemented, right? And then legislative, we should have law for implementation of fundamental duties, right? Fundamental duty should be compulsory for at least for those people, for people who enjoy fundamental right, or you leave your fundamental right, something like that can be done. And we need to make a more comprehensive list of fundamental duties, more comprehensive list of fundamental duties. For example, I can say that no one shall be corrupt. Okay, this is obviously a duty, but this shall be made a fundamental duty against corruption. That is how it goes. Okay, and finally, after this, you know, I would end this lecture on fundamental duties with what is with a quote by Gandhi. Okay, what Gandhi ji said, he said that the force, okay, this is very thing, this is lawyer Gandhi speaking, the force of right is duty. So the force of right is duty. You can always end your answer in your paper with this quotation by Gandhi. The force of the right is duty. If we rights will not be far to seek. This is what Gandhi ji said. Okay, Gandhi ji said. Now please understand the sense of this quotation, that once everyone is fulfilling their duty, there will be no problem, everyone will enjoy their rights. If we live in a society, if everyone just claims right, for example, if everyone says that I want to cross the road first and nobody stops, then there will be a problem. And according to law, there is a duty on you to let the pedestrian pass the road first, let the slower moving vehicle pass the road first, let the person who's coming straight pass the road first. This is given under the law. Okay, under this act related to road transportation, that is given. Okay, so now because of this is what I am trying to say, whenever anyone fulfills their duty, you know, then there will be no problem, there will be no accidents on the road. Same way, their democracy will get stronger. Okay, so I hope after this you understand your duties and you will all fulfill your duties. Okay, please make use of this fundamental duty in your interview, your mains, your prelim exam, wherever you in your normal life. See, study of UPSC or any other exam is not just for clearing the exam, it is for being better humans, better citizens of India. So I hope this helps you, right? So that was all about the fundamental duties. Now please understand the sense of this quotation, that once everyone is fulfilling their duty, there will be no problem, everyone will enjoy their rights. If we live in a society, if everyone just claims right, for example, if everyone says that I want to cross the road first and nobody stops, then there will be a problem. And according to law, there is a duty on you to let the pedestrian pass the road first, let the slower moving vehicle pass the road first, let the person who's coming straight pass the road first. This is given under the law. Okay, under this act related to road transportation, that is given. Okay, so now because of this is what I am trying to say, whenever anyone fulfills their duty, you know, then there will be no problem, there will be no accidents on the road. Same way, their democracy will get stronger. Okay, so I hope after this you understand your duties and you will all fulfill your duties. Okay, please make use of this fundamental duty in your interview, your mains, your prelim exam, wherever you in your normal life. See, study of UPSC or any other exam is not just for clearing the exam, it is for being better humans, better citizens of India. So I hope this helps you, right? So that was all about the fundamental duties. So that was all about today's lecture, and now just wanted to make two very important announcements. And the first thing is that I just wanted to thank you all whosoever you have shared my videos on various social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, everywhere. Thank you so much from my heart, and it is my humble request that you please keep on sharing this video in future also. जिन्होंने आज तक नहीं share की, if you really like the video, it's my humble request, please share it with others. That gives me encouragement to make better videos and ज़्यादा वीडियोज़ एंड आई कैन कवर ज़्यादा सब्जेक्ट अगर आप इस वीडियो को शेयर करते हैं. एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज़ that this is for your own benefit. If you really like these videos and you want that updates about the new videos should come into your mailbox, you can subscribe to us. You can see the subscribe button over here. You can click on us and videos will come right into your email box. आप हमें सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं. अगर ऐसा करते हैं तो वीडियोस डायरेक्टली आपके मेल बॉक्स में आ जाएंगी. बस इतना ही कहना है. दैट इज ऑल एंड थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियोस.